Hi, Art Kurtz here, and this is Easy Access Math. And today we are going to factor a trinomial. And I showed you in a previous video how to factor a trinomial by creating FOIL setups for each choice on a multiple choice test. I'm now going to show you how to factor using the arch method. Now, we use this method when we have a number before the x squared, before the variable square. As you know, if it was just x squared without a number before it, you would simply take two numbers that multiply to the last number and add up to the middle number. In this case, that would be 2 and 3. They add up to 5. They multiply to 6. Those are your two factors, x plus 2, x plus 3. They combine, remember, with unlike signs, you may be subtracting. However, here, it's not that simple when we have a number before the x squared, in this case a 2. So we do the arch method. We connect that number, be it a 2, a 3, a 5, a 7, to the last number at the end, the plain number without a variable. And so I have 2 times negative 15. That gives me a negative 30. And I think of multiples that will multiply to negative 30. Don't worry about that middle number right now. That 2 throws it off. Now, look at the middle number, though. I want to get my two numbers. This won't necessarily be your answer. You'll have to do some work later because of that 2. But I do want to get two numbers that multiply to negative 30, yet come to a positive x. And remember, there's an invisible 1 in this case. When there's no number before the variable, it's 1. So they add up to positive 1. They multiply to negative 30. I could take 10 and 3, but that's not going to combine in any way to 1. But 5 and 6 does. It's a difference of 1. So if I use positive 5 and negative 6, I multiply to a negative 30. And in this case, I'm going to use negative 5 and positive 6 because I have a positive 1. Again, the unlike signs would multiply to negative 30. But I want to get a positive, so I'm going to make the higher number positive, and the difference is 1. So I can set it up that way. X plus 6, x minus 5. So I get my 30, and I get a difference of positive 1 for the middle number. When I said ignore the middle number, it doesn't quite get you the answer without some extra work. So you do want to look at it. It does get us the positive 1, but there's more work. Because what we did here, we will divide the even number by 2, because there's a 2 here, so I'm going to divide this by 2, and I get x plus 3 as my factor here. And the opposite one gets the 2x minus 5. Remember, our original trinomial had the 15, the negative 15 at the end. So we had to divide the 6 by the 2. That was the number here, the even number that was multiplied. We know that because that's the 2. And that becomes x plus 3. And now I have 2x minus 5. Those are my two factors. The 2x goes to the opposite number, the one I didn't divide. To check, I could use FOIL. X times 2x is 2x squared. X times negative 5 is negative 5x. 3 times 2x is positive 6x. And here's my negative 15, the 3 times the 5. So you could still use FOIL as a check. And there's my negative 15. When I combine the two like elements, the negative 5 and the positive 6, I end up with my original trinomial, 2x squared plus x plus 1x minus 15. Now, either one of these factors, when I divided by 2, that was that extra work I had to do, divide the element, the even element, by the 2 to get the true factor x plus 3, and then the opposite set gets the 2 in front of the x. Because I divided this one, the 2 comes here before the x. That creates my two factors. So my two factors are x plus 3 or 2x minus 5. And you can see here only one of them, the x plus 3, is a choice as a factor. When I pair that with its FOIL pair, putting the 2x in the other one, and a number that will multiply to negative 15, that's the minus 5, there's my other factor. So this is an alternate algebraic way using the arch method to get the factors of a trinomial when the x squared number has anything but a 1, has a number in front of it. If it's a 1, it would just be x squared. If you see a 2, a 3, a 5, 7, you can employ this method. And that's how you do it. But do watch my video on using a FOIL method where you use logic to create the FOIL pair. And that's how we factor a trinomial.